Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, April 26th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly. Sorry for the late start. Some technical issues here on my end. But we're good. So let me get this link sent out over here real quick. Hey guys, morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 26th. It is 6:30 right now. Market just opened. You guys heard that opening bell. Sorry for the late start. There was an issue with YouTube. Technical issues getting online. We're good. So, all right, guys, market is now open. We got a few moments for people to continue to make their way in, and then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's a couple more things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right. All right, perfect, guys. So market is now open. We currently have a lower low right here. Price broken close past the pivots with no buy signal, so there's no entry for us to take there. Not really missing on anything here. So we'll get a few moments for people to continue joining in, and we'll see what happens shortly. See who's here so far. Morning Stern, morning Van Hartwig, morning Omar, morning CJ, morning Daniel, morning Gactive, morning Karen, David, Brian, Patricia, Rashida, Martha, Maria, Eunice, Jamie, everybody. Morning, guys. Market is right here down the middle. As you guys can see, there's currently a pending buy signal right now, but there's no entry for us to take right now specifically. We're looking for that lower low to come up with a sell signal in order for us to take entry here. Fortunately, this buy signal cannot be used because price already broken close past the pivots, which is completely fine. Yeah, definitely, Maddie. So the market's moving very volatile this morning. I agree. So we'll see where this ends up taking us. Morning, Satya, morning, Glenn, morning, AR, morning, T, morning, Shannon, morning, guys. Yeah, there's no entry for us to take right now. There's a pending buy signal right here, but there's nothing for us right now to take specifically. Let's take a look at the news real quick. I think there was news this morning. So today's over here Wednesday, April 26th. There's news at 5:30. And I think that's about it. So let me go ahead and mark up news real quick. So there's news right here at about 5:30. Here's opening price. There. See if there's any other news events over here at my FX book. So there was news here again at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 5:30. So one more at 4. And we got some news over here at 7:30. So that's pretty much it. It's just oil news here at 7:30 and at 8:30. 7:30, 8:39. 7:30 right there, oil news. And 8:30 as well. All right, guys. So no entry for us right now. Pretty much have everything marked up right here. I'm going to go here to the clean chart. I'm going to mark this up as well so that you guys can see what we're anticipating. Opening price right there. Opening time right there. And 8 o'clock right there. There goes the higher high. There goes the lower low. You guys can see the range. So I mean, price is pretty much doing the same thing it's been doing for the past couple of days. It's just been ranging. Not too much direction. Price pushes up slightly, fakes out, comes back down for the retest. And that's pretty much that. All right, so price is coming back down right here. We may have a possible entry. We have a higher high right here. Possible sell signal that's pending on this candle right here. Price is looking to break and close past the pivots. If this here ends up closing, then this is going to be a possible entry for a sell. Just want to make sure the candle's not too big. If the candle's too big, you might want to wait for a retracement first. Again, guys, I give you guys a heads up before I decide to either take something or not take something. See, if you guys are not paying attention, you guys have to listen to my analysis here. So I mentioned there's a possible entry coming here, but this candle here is a little too big, right? If it closes too big, then you have to wait for the retracement. I mean, you technically don't have to, but for me, from my experience, that's basically what I'm looking for here. Because if the candle's too big, it's due for retracement. It's going to have to retrace at least a little bit. So the candle right there closed. Not in the position yet. Be looking to maybe get in when it comes back down. So pretty much exactly what I just mentioned right there. Just waiting for it to come back down from where it's currently at. Waiting for it to retrace. If price pushes up any higher, I'm not going to take it. But if it continues to drop lower, then I'll hop into it with the sell stop. So just looking for it to come back down from where it's currently at. Let's see. All right, I'm in the position. It's coming down to my TP. And it hit my TP. I had to close that manually because it hit my TP right there, guys. So there you go, full TP right there, guys. It didn't trigger my TP, but I just pulled that manually. Blocking about 1,700 on that. It's probably going to come down further, but I'm not going to risk it because how it's moving. Okay, so it should have hit your TP again right there, guys. If it didn't close you out, I'd recommend just pulling out, as I mentioned right there. Drop down super nicely. So if you guys took that trade, great. If you didn't, just wait for the next one. But it did exactly what I mentioned. So I said I was going to wait for it to retrace because I said it was going to pull back, and that's exactly what happened, right? Price pulled back, waited for it to come down, enter the trade, full TP. And it kept dropping right here. So if you guys are still in it, it kept dropping to another, full TP right there. So that is the first entry for the day, guys. Full TP right there. Looks like some of you guys here took the V1 that you guys mentioned. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, Nick said the spread was 190. That's probably why it didn't pull me out, because the spread was too wide. I just pulled out, though. I'm not looking to, take any unnecessary risk here. Even though I knew the trade was going to play out, it filled my order, went down to TP, and I pulled out because it didn't close me out on my actual MC4. But if you guys held on to it, it looks like it should have blasted right through it and did close it completely. All right, so there goes the first trade. Natasha made profit, Maddie made profit, Glenn made profit, Satya made profit, Maria made profit. Nice, guys. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I will take a screenshot of my profits as well. Perfect, guys. Great work. Not bad for our first trade today. And again, guys, sorry for starting late. I'm starting late because there was technical issues, but we started just on time, like right before market open. Here we go. As price pushes down lower. We're going to see if we have another possible entry here, but there's just nothing for us to take right now. So nice profit right there. MFF is MFF, guys. So it's frustrating, but whatever, it's all good. They gave me half profit again. It seems like every trade I take with MFF, it's always half profit. I guess I can just count on them and give me half profit every time. So I'll take individual screenshots of my profit shortly, but I will take some of mine here. So I made 1,720 on my FTMO number 1, 1,320 on my FTMO number 2, 510 on my MFF number 1, 510 on my MFF number 2, and 460 on my MFF number 3. Some profits over here from Jamie. Jamie took a couple trades pre-market and that opening trade. Total profit of 1,600 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Jamie. Looks like you're really starting to catch your stride, Jamie. So just keep it up and stay consistent. I know you told me this was your time, so we'll see after the next 30 days or so how it plays out. Maria over here took the pre-market trade, and then she also took the V1 total profit of 414 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there, Maria. See some more profits here from Vincent. Vincent mentioned spread was huge, total profit of 205 for the day. Nice work, Vincent. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I got caught in the position, because the spread was just way too wide. That happens sometimes when the market's very volatile. It's just you got to make sure to not get greedy. And if it hits your TP on TradingView, you got to pull out, because sometimes the spread is just going to be super wide. Looks like it's stuck at 190 right now, which is not horrible, but it is very high. It's typically around like 140, 120, 130. So it's a few notches above where it should be. But yeah, those are my profits so far. Yeah, I just saw Matthew. Matthew said, MFF is straight dog doo-doo. I'm never getting full profit. Yeah, no, Matthew's running through the same issue as me. I've been complaining about this for like the past couple of months. Some people didn't believe me, but this has been consistent. It's been, 2 or 3 months now where I haven't been able to get full profit. But it is what it is. You just got to deal with it. I'm going to start looking for maybe another funding company out there that's more reliable. But they're good for now. They're not horrible. They still pay out. So that's all that really matters. If they pay out and you're making at least majority of the profit, then I'll just keep using them until I find something better, which I haven't been able to. I think the main thing I don't like about them is also their lot size max. If I knew they had a lot size max like that, I would just stick to 100K account, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I think I might do that. I'm going to see if I could maybe downsize my accounts to 2 different 100K accounts, because if I stick to 200 lots on FTMO, it's just not going to make sense, because I want them to be pretty much equal. All right. Well, thankfully, I got my payout on my third account. Just got my MFF account credentials back. They gave me a brand new account to start over with. So, and they do that sometimes. So a question that I had before, guys, is people ask whether when you get paid out, if they just reset your account or if they give you a brand new account. Sometimes they give you a brand new account. Sometimes they just reset it. For this account right here, they give me a brand new one. I guess they moved me to a new server. Which is typically the case. So here's my FTMO number 1, total profit of 1,720. Here is my FTMO number 2, total profit of 1,320. My MFF number 1, total profit of 510. You can see it's half profit. This should have been 1,000 or close to 1,000 at least. Here's my MFF number 2, total profit of 510. And my MFF number 3, total profit of 460. So obviously half profit here. Everything here should have been about 1,000 or close to it, but it gave me about half, if not less. So it's all good. It is what it is. I just got to deal with it. There's nothing I can do about it. You can't really complain to MFF because they're not going to do anything. They're probably just going to give you some generic reasoning why getting half profit on every single trade. So it's all good. As long as they pay out, I'm happy with that. I'll take whatever they can give me. Anyways, so any more profits over here? Let's see. We have Andy over here. Andy with a total profit of 972 for the day. Nice work, Andy, off that sell. Solid profit right there. We got Chow over here, total profit of 1,020. Looks like you got that nice TP right there. Solid. And I think that's about it. So solid profit so far, guys. We're looking for another entry here. We have a new lower low. So with this lower low right here, we can have a possible entry to the upside. Let me see what it looks like over here on all the time frames. Just want to see what it looks like with regard to trend and direction. So it looks like we have a bearish bias with regard to the technicals. It looks like pretty much, aside from the short term. So short term right here is pretty much bullish neutral, kind of more on the neutral side. So the short term time frames over here at 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10-minute time frames are kind of neutral to bullish. The higher time frames over here, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour are all bearish. You can see over here on the higher time frames, prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. This is going to indicate a downwards trend. Over here on the shorter time frames, the 1 minute is bearish, while the 5 minute and 10-minute are neutral. You can see from the trend meter here, they're still green, but they might be shifting to the downside, within the next hour or so. We'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. But all right, if price decides to continue moving along here, then we'll see how this provides us with entry. We have a lower low right here. So I'm not taking this candle right here. You guys saw that huge spike. I'm definitely not going to take that candle right there. I don't know what's going on in the market right now, but this candle just spiked up about like 500 pips. Huge green candle right here with a buy signal. This would have technically been an entry, but I'm not going to take it. It's just, anyways, it didn't close with the buy signal anyways. Either way, this candle would have been too big. So even if it did play out as an official entry, I would have just waited a bit for it to pull back. But unusual green candle right there, just spiked up really quickly. It was down here, spiked up, gave a pending signal and disappeared. So this candle broke and closed past the pivots over here. However, there's no buy signal, so there's no entry. Either way, I probably wouldn't have taken that one because it was such an unusual spike. Yeah, exactly. Dan said jumpy candles today. I agree. Super weird movement. Okay, so let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are currently, okay, the Dow's currently up 49 points. S&P's up 7 points. NASDAQ is currently unchanged for some reason. I don't know what's going on with NASDAQ, but NASDAQ does not have any numbers. The Dow's currently up 35 points, pretty much neutral right now. S&P's at 5 points neutral. Russell 2000 is down 4 points. And the VIX is currently, up less than a percentage. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 64% short. This indicates that 64% of retail traders are currently selling right now. It's not very strong with regard to bias, but this is indicating that there's more retail traders on the sell side. So price can really go either way, but long term, it may go up to the upside. So a little bit of a, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a bit conflicting. So we don't have an overall bias right now. Retail sentiment is currently 64% short. So technically you want to take a buy long term. Looking over here at the fundamentals are pretty much neutral. So that doesn't really take into account. Looking over here at the technicals, they're pretty much mixed. So short-term technicals right here are pretty much indecisive. The 1 minute is bearish, 5 minute is neutral bearish, and the 10-minute over here is neutral. Our time frame is bearish. So we'll see. But there's no real, there's no clear direction right now. There may be a possible entry right here, guys. Again, you want to see if this candle closes with a buy signal. Currently have a lower low right here, but the candles right now are super jumpy. So you guys have to wait for the candle to actually close. If the candle does not close, you guys want to wait a little bit for it to confirm. Also, you want to make sure the candle is not too big. The candle here looks fine where it's currently at. If it pushes up any higher, you may want to wait a little bit because a retracement may happen. All right, this candle is way too big, so you definitely want to wait for a retracement if you do decide to take it. You also want to wait for the candle to actually close. So we have about 7 seconds left on this candle. Price is coming right back down. Does not look like it's going to close, and there's no entry there. So you can see we have a lower low here. The candle broke and closed past the pivots, but there was no buy signal. These candles are really weird today. If you guys have noticed, this candle had like a perfect buy entry, and then at the last couple, 10 seconds or so, it just wicked down and the buy signal disappeared. So just be a little patient, guys. If you guys are looking for entry, don't force anything today. It's a weird market. If you guys have been looking at every candle that's come up, we had almost a perfect entry on this candle right here, but it didn't end up closing. So huge wicks. Yeah, we'll see what happens here, guys. It looks like it's having trouble getting past this lower zone right here, basically opening price. You guys can't really see the blue line there, but if I move this, you can see there's a blue line right here. This is opening price. So you can see how many times price has tested it. It faked out right here, tested it right here, but it failed to get below. So it's a pretty strong support where it's currently at. Yeah, Nick said, feels like the market wants to push down hard. Yeah, I can see that. Nice. So Daniel said he took a pre-market trade at 620 and his profit tripled on TP because of slippage. That's solid. Those are the best trades. When you have your trade running and then slippage goes in your favor, those are definitely the best ones to hit. Jason said I can try funding next. I'll check them out. Christian said that was a V1. Either way, it's a red flag. I don't think there's any V1s right now, guys, because there's no overall bias. In order for you to have any V1 variations, you need to have an overall bias, right? Here's the criteria for the V1 variation. Where is it at? Yeah, you need to confirm the overall bias. Right now, retail sentiment's indicating to take a buy. Fundamentals are pretty much neutral, and the technicals here are bearish. So there's no overall bias right now. So there's no V1s that you guys can take at the moment. At least no official V1s. Let's see. Glenn's asking, does the opening candle qualify for the V1 strategy? Yeah. Any candle does for the V1. The V1 comes up pretty much all day, so you can take it whenever. You just got to confirm the overall bias. If there's no overall bias, then there's no V1 to take. Randy's asking, is 1 to 10 leverage workable? Yeah, it's workable if you have a big account. Leverage doesn't really mean anything. It just depends. Leverage just tells you, how much of an account, how much of a position size you can take. So you can have a 1 to 10 leverage, but you're going to have you need a large account because, that leverage is very small. I think most brokers, at least all of the unregulated brokers, they're like 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000. If you're using a regulated broker, it's pretty much set at I think 1 to 150 or 1 to 50, I believe. I can't remember the number, but it's pretty low. So yeah, you can use 1 to 10, but you need a pretty large account to trade US30 with or YM or whatever assets you decide to trade with 1 to 10 leverage, because you need to be able to cover margin. So if you have 1 to 10 leverage, you probably need at least $1,000, $10,000 account to trade something like YM, unless you're trading the micro lots or the nano lots. It just depends on your broker. So yeah, Randy, if you can figure out what your broker's lot sizing is for the specific asset, you can probably still trade it. You just might have to take a super small lot size. You'll be making pennies on the dollar, or a small percentage of what you normally would be making if you had wider leverage. Let's see. Jalan asked, anyone speaking today? I noticed CNBC has been going live almost every day for the past couple of weeks. Possibly. Let me check real quick. Thanks for the heads up, Jalan. Yeah, I don't see anything here on my end. So I don't think anyone's, there's nothing on the economic calendar, but the thing is somebody could still be speaking on CNBC. I know there's earnings today, so I think that's why price is jumping. So you can see over here, it says NASDAQ jumps after Microsoft earnings beat expectations. So that is one thing there. So we have Microsoft, basically the NASDAQ. That's why right now it's unchanged. Now it's currently up 112 points because the earnings just got released. I think Facebook has their earnings too. There's a couple of companies that have their earnings this week. But yeah, that's probably why price is so jumpy. Google as well. So it says Google was flat. First Republic was down. Microsoft was up. I think there was like 3 stocks here, maybe Amazon, Microsoft. I can't tell exactly who, but it's a couple earning releases that are being released right now. So that's why price is being so jumpy at the moment. Let's see. Nick said it might be trying to pile on sellers and then spike up, squeezing. Yeah, I mean, price is just going sideways here. As you guys can see, I drew the support right here, or just basically the bottom. Price has been going sideways for the entire session. So there's not really much going on here. This is a clean chart. You guys can see I try to keep this as clean as possible. What I did is I just marked up opening time and then our end of our live session time here. Price is literally just going sideways. Another attempt over here to break past this low, or I guess the support or the floor, whatever you want to call it. It hasn't had much luck getting past that area. So we'll see what happens here, but it doesn't really matter because there's no entries for us to take here anyways. In order for us to have an entry here, we need to have a new lower low established, which we don't currently have yet. And we'll see where this ends up, taking us. Yeah, exactly. Jalan said, I wish we could get an official US30 earnings calendar. Yeah, that'd be solid because then exactly, what to look out for and what to be careful for. Yeah, let me see if I could maybe pull it up here. I think Earnings Whispers. I think this is a website most people use, right? So tomorrow we have Amazon. We have Apple on 5-4. So the next one coming up is Amazon. We have Amazon over here. It says Whisper Report, low volatility is a marker of a bull market. It's also complacency in this case, likely all come down to just one horizontal line. Yeah, so looking at this over here, I mean, the main company that's coming up right now is Amazon. I don't even think Amazon is in the index. Yeah, they're not. They're not even in US30. They're in S&P and NASDAQ, but they're not in. I'll just put earnings over here. So I think all the earnings for US30 companies are pretty much done for the most part. Unless anybody knows anything else. I mean, personally, I don't know because I don't have the check calendar right here. Okay, actually, sorry, we do have one here. So we had Boeing over here. I don't know if Boeing is still in. I think they took them out, although they're actually still here. So we do have Boeing right here. It's basically what's carrying. So Microsoft is up a crazy amount. That's why price keeps spiking because Microsoft had good earnings. It spiked price to the upside. Boeing over here as well, currently up. However, there's a couple other companies here that are weighing it down. United Health is down 11 points. I mean, the index is bullish, but for whatever reason, price is still dropping pretty heavy from where it's currently at. I mean, it's still 9 points in the green. So I'll just keep this right here. I think that's the main company, is just Boeing, right? CME Group. I don't think this is from today. This is just the whole list. Yeah, it's just a list of stocks. All right. So I'll try to figure this out. I haven't really used this website, but I know this is the website that a lot of people use. But I think that's about it. So back to the charts over here, guys. We had price break and close below the low over here. New low hasn't been established yet, but if it does establish, I'll create a new zone down below right here. 8 seconds left right here. Thanks, Nick. Nick said that he gave me another website, Business Insider. Perfect. Thanks, Nick, for the heads up with this right here. So it looks like Facebook is today. I guess, so Boeing was today. This one's actually pretty good. So thanks for this link right here, Nick. Facebook, Boeing, and Goldman Sachs. These are the main three companies that are part of US30. Yeah, I was like wondering if I could. All right, still no entry for us right here. Let's see. Randy said that's why I was thinking the prop firm, considering it is a 25,000 account for 700. It's instant funding, no challenges. Forex prop firm. Oh, cool. I've never tried them before, Andy, so I can't really say if they're good or not. I've never even traded on a broker that has like that small of leverage. I don't know if you can really, I mean, you probably could trade on it, but you have to take really small lot sizes. Because I'm doing a 200K. Well, I have all my accounts are 200K for FTMO and MFF. And I think they have like 1 to 100 leverage. So I wouldn't like, it'd be impossible to take those types of lot sizes on, such a small account. You'll be making like pennies, if not dollars, trading that type of account. For leverage like that, that's probably workable for like Forex trades, not for something like US30, because they require less margin. All right, so I'm just gonna make an adjustment right here, guys. Take this off. There's a new lower low right here. See what I got over here. Maria said the V1s are working very well today. So she's looks like Maria took a couple trades here for V1s. So these are technically V1s, Maria, because there's no overall bias, right? I'm not sure when you mark these up, but if these are the ones from like right now, I don't think there's an overall bias, Maria. So I mean, they are reversal patterns, but they're not necessarily V1s because I don't think there's an overall bias right now. Retail sentiment is currently bullish. The trend right now is currently bearish. So they're doing the opposite of each other. Plus the fundamentals over here are like right down the middle. So they are reversal patterns. If you see a double body or double wick, those are reversal patterns, but they're not necessarily like we wouldn't consider them V1s. But it's okay. It's good practice to identify the double bodies and double wicks because a lot of people have issues identifying that specifically. Let's see. Omar is asking, hey, Sean, do you have a personal trading account with regular broker at the moment to trade on? So I have a regular personal account for Forex. I use forex.com because I like trading directly on TradingView right here. So for Forex, I do have a personal account. I have a personal account for US30 and for crypto, but I don't use it right now. So I don't necessarily use it. There's no point in using it because it's like, why would I risk my own money when I can risk the funded account, So I don't trade. I trade my personal account for Forex, but not for US30. For Forex, it's just a lot easier because you can trade directly on TradingView. And then you can just calculate your risk percentage. Like I can take a trade and put a 3% risk. I don't have to like calculate any lot size or any of that stuff. And also can trade directly on TradingView, which makes it a lot easier. Let's see. Maddie said market might go down to sessions if it breaks this one. Yeah, I can see that too, Maddie. Let me see if I have my sessions on. All right. So guys, just a reminder, if you guys have been around for a while, you guys know what these horizontal lines mean, right? These horizontal lines mean a couple of things. The blue one means opening price, pink means news price, purple, red, and green mean session. So we have the Asia low down here. If price continues to drop lower, like Maddie mentioned, and it breaks below this price point, target area is going to be sessions down there, right? That's probably where price is going to go. So if you guys are looking at it from that perspective, you guys can take a look. However, not really anything for us to and there you go, as price breaks below. We have a lot of jumpy candles here. As you guys can see, this candle is a huge candle. It was like way up here, and then it spiked. You can see spiked down like 300 pips, almost 500 pips. So I want to be a little careful about making your entries, guys, because you might get caught in some crazy spikes. This kind of happened on Monday too. If you guys remembered on Monday, we had that huge spike, which kind of threw us off. Like that first entry went straight to full TP, but not everyone was able to close out of it. Some people close out for a small profit. Some people close out for a small loss. But yeah, these candles here are they're very erratic. So you want to be careful, because if your stop loss is too tight, like say, for example, you enter a trade and your stop loss is 300 pips, you can easily get spiked out. You can get spiked out into TP, or you can get spiked out to your stop loss. So you want to be very careful. Yeah, I mean, these spikes are happening they're just so unpredictable. So let me go ahead and mark this up over here again. We have a new, or I'll just leave it for where it's currently at. If price breaks below, I'll establish a new low. But right now, I'll just leave it as is. See, this candle here just spiked up again. You guys see that? The volatility right now is just too crazy, guys. I'd probably sit out of the market for a little bit. You don't want to trade. You don't want to scalp when this is happening, because it can easily hit your TP, but it can also easily hit your stop loss. Because this candle right here just spiked up 400 pips. It was like way down here, and it spiked up in like 1 second. If your stop loss is 300 pips, this is very risky, because if it pulls back or pushes forward, you can easily get kicked out of a trade. So we have a pending buy signal right here. If this ends up pushing past the lower heights, technically an entry, but you guys probably want to like sit out of this. I'm not going to take this trade. I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. The market's just too jumpy right now. You want it to be smooth, because the last thing you want to do is enter a trade and then it just spikes the opposite way as soon as it closes. So again, guys, if this candle here closes above the pivots with the buy signal and it pushes past this lower high, then there's technically an entry here, but I'm probably going to sit out of it, because the candles right now are just too jumpy. See where the stop loss is? So if your entry ends up closing and it ends up spiking and then spiking right back up, you could be in some trouble, right? Because the spread, so one thing that can screw you over is the spread, and then second could be the slippage, because price can technically blast right through your TP, and if it comes right back down and there's slippage, it's not going to close you out. So, just a word of advice, guys. No need to force anything here, especially if the market's moving kind of crazy. So we have another pending buy signal right here. 40 seconds left on it. Yeah, Nick said, Jesus, that didn't even appear on MT4. Spread's back down to 180, but now it's back to 190. Yeah. Yeah, so just be a little careful, guys. I'm probably going to wait until the market smoothens out a bit. It's moving a little too crazy right now. It's not very smooth. So I'm going to hold off for a little bit here. Question from Daniel. Daniel's asking, how do you get the labels on the sessions? Mine just look like colored lines. So to turn them on, Daniel, just right click on your chart, go to settings. Hold on, let me refresh this. All right, so right click on your chart, go to settings, go to appearance, or sorry, go to scales, and then right here, turn on indicators and financial names. So right here's your line. You turn it on right there, it'll say what it is right there on the side. Just turn on the labels, click OK, and you're good to go. Sure, no problem, Daniel. All right, so there's no entry here, guys. Price is pushing down a little lower. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to update the zone down below where the lower low is at. All right, so the range just keeps getting wider and wider. I'm going to update it here on the clean chart. So same zone, just wider. One second, guys. I'm going to go blow my nose real quick. All right, guys, I'm back. Still nothing going on here. So let's take a look at the bigger picture again. All right, let's take a look at some profits. So we've got Kenny over here, total profit of 1,040 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. All wins. So solid profits right there. We have Christian over here, total profit of 505 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Christian. And we have Maria over here, total profit of 518 for the day. All wins. Solid profit right there. And Kenny over here with 1,040. So great work, guys. You guys made some pretty good profits so far. I know there's only one official trade, but you guys are definitely taking trades off my analysis right here. Just be careful with your entries. If you guys are taking these entries, make sure to not get greedy. When it hits your TP, make sure to close out. Maddie over here, total profit of 516 for the day, total profit of 1,727 for the week. So nice work right there, Maddie. Solid profits. Yeah, guys, doing good. We got some more profits here from Sisuk. Pull them up real quick. All right. So we got some profits over here from Sisuk. It still blows my mind how Sisuk's able to trade this manually. Sisuk doesn't use a copier. He trades his account manually. He just has multiple MT4 apps open. So Sisuk over here is currently 5,699 on this account, all wins. Here's Sisuk's second account, total profit of 1,550 for the day, all wins as well. Right here, you guys can see the green strips. He let them run a full TP. And here's Sisuk's third account, total profit of 1,600. So this is how you can tell that he's trading individual accounts, because they all have the green strip right here, right? All green strips, all green strips, all green strips, right? So these are all separate accounts. You guys can see from my account over here, I'm using a copier. So this is my main account, and then my trades copied to every other account. But Sisuk over here does it manually, which is crazy. I don't know how he does it, but his ability to enter multiple trades is, it's crazy. I'm not that fast to hit buy on like on like 3 different accounts. So nice work, Sisuk. All right, so we have a new low over here, guys. I'm going to just draw this up. You can see price is rejecting directly off the sessions down below. It did exactly what you said, Maddie. So price came down below, rejected directly off the sessions. This can be the correction back to the upside, but who knows? Price can correct, or it might just continue dropping from where it's currently at. There was a high-low scalp right there. I don't know if anyone identified that, but there was a high-low scalp right here. There's a high-low scalp into liquidity. So there's liquidity down below right there. Price broke and closed past this zone right there, or that level, and then it just continued dropping. Basically an area of liquidity. So if you guys see the liquidity right here, there was 3 lines. There's 2 right next to each other. Target price point would have been down here. And that's literally what happened. Price blasted through liquidity right here, and then ended up touching the last level right there and bounced right up. So if you guys know that strategy, liquidity pushes, there's an opportunity right here to catch that push to the downside. I didn't take it, but just wanted to, give you guys a heads up. I know some of you guys still like applying that strategy. C6 said, thanks, Sean. 6 accounts, but why bother showing beyond 3? Yeah, exactly. C6 has a lot of accounts. It's crazy. Daniel said your mouse speed must be insane. Seriously, right? Yeah, I can't do that. That's too much eye coordination for me. I can barely go on one account. Doing 3 accounts to just be, it's just too much work for me. I try to make things as easy and as simple as possible. So for me, I definitely would not do what C6's doing. I feel like that's a lot, that would cause a lot of possibility of mistake. It's just too much stuff to look at. Anyways, here's a clean chart, guys. There's nothing going on here, as you guys can see. Price has been dropping, but it hasn't been a smooth drop at all. So, I mean, price is super overextended. Price might be shifting to the upside, but I mean, we'll see what happens in the next couple moments or so. So right now, you guys can see the Dow's currently down 57 points. S&P is currently up 2 points. NASDAQ's up 100 points. Russell 2K is down 5 points, and the VIX is currently up less than 1%. So there's not really too much going on. I mean, for the most part, market's technically flat right now. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 68% short, or sorry, 63% short, indicating that 63% of retail traders are currently selling. You typically want to do the opposite and buy. So this is indicating to take a buy. Fundamentals here are pretty much flat and neutral. They're at down 57 points. Looking over here at the technicals, it's still bearish. So there's no overall bias right now. Price is pretty much, it's conflicting because the technicals here are indicating to take a sell, while the sentiment over here is indicating to take a buy. Fundamentals here are useless right now. They're pretty much flat. So there's not really anything for us to make use of here. I mean, this might drop lower. If it goes below 100 points and stays below there, then we might be able to shift to a sell. It'll turn into a bearish neutral bias, because this here can drop as well, but it's still picking up. So as you can see, this number just increased. It went from 63 to 64%. That means that a lot of retail traders are starting to bandwagon onto these sells, which could be a bad thing, because you don't want to bandwagon into a sell when price starts to get overextended. Price might just shift all the way back to the upside. So I'd probably be careful taking any sells right here, guys, because price may just bounce at any moment. Yeah, I mean, that bounce could happen like right here, right? This could be a V1 variation right here. Not one that I would take, but let's see. I'll just watch it and we'll see where this ends up going. There's no real V1 variation right now because there's no bias. But if you're just looking at longer time frames, this could technically be the bounce to the upside, because you're looking for the low to be established, right? There's no low yet. So here's a 1 minute time frame. Let's go on the 10. Nothing there. 30. Nothing there. 1 hour. Nothing there. 240. So I mean, this could be a support. You guys can see right here that it rejected off this point right here too. So, I mean, there's an opportunity right there for price to bounce, but it's not necessarily a good, and you can see right there, setup. I'm not in this position, guys. I just want to mark it up for you guys to show you where that bounce can possibly happen. I'm not taking this position. I'm just marking it up for you guys to see, but there's not really much of a confluence there. So we have a confluence over here on the 1 minute for a V1, going over to the 10. Not really much of a confluence. 15, nothing there, because price hasn't tested this area in a long time. The last time price tested this area was on April 10th of this month. So it's been a long time since price was down at this area, right? Not exactly the type of trade I'd want to be in. So obviously I'm not taking it, but you guys can see right here that this kind of gives you an idea of like your confluence. So that's one thing that I would recommend that you guys do. Look on multiple time frames, right? So like, for example, we're here on the 1 minute and you're looking to see if there's a bounce right here, right? If you want to see if this bounce is valid, just mark up your charts and then go up to higher time frames. You go from a bottom to up analysis, right? So you're looking for entry here on the 1 minute. You go on the 10 minute, you're like, oh, this doesn't look like a bounce is going to happen because there's nothing that's happened here in like, 2-3 weeks. So nothing here on the 10, nothing here on the 30, nothing here on the hour, I mean, there's one push over here on the hour, but it's not even a clean push. It's like a fake out and it swung up. So what might happen here is there might be another fake out. Price might come down, fake out, and swing back to the upside, but it's not enough confidence for me to really look for anything here. Okay, so price now dropped a little lower. Let's see if there's anything else over here. We got to wait for this candle to close. I don't want to just keep drawing new lower lows and then price just continues to drop lower, right? So we'll do the analysis again right here once this candle closes so that you guys can see what's next. All right, so price is still dropping lower and lower. This is completely fine. Just let it drop lower, and then we'll see if there's any possible opportunity for us to, you know, maybe make an opportunity to make a trade in the inside. But price is dropping a bit lower. I wouldn't recommend chasing this. You can see how far it's overextended. Price has been dropping for a long time. Let's measure it from the top over here. So here's the top. Price has dropped 2,500 pips. It's a lot of movement right there. And it's probably going to, you know, correct back up at some point. I don't know why price is dropping so heavily. Let me check CNBC real quick. All right, let's see the earnings real quick. I don't know if there's anything here that, I mean, aside from Boeing, I don't really see anything else here. Yeah, the only main one I see here is Boeing. I don't see anything else. That's the only one I see for today. Unless Facebook is released. I don't think so. Not yet, at least. So we had Boeing, Goldman Sachs, and Facebook today. But all right, so let's go ahead and take this analysis again. So let's look right here. We have a new lower low. Let's go in the higher time frame to 10. I mean, it's pretty much useless. You're not really going to see any other rejection points until you go to the 4 hour, because price hasn't been in this area for a long time. You go on the hour right here, possibly on the hour. Okay, so this is actually a better rejection. So look over here, right? We currently have this right here rejecting off this level. You look over here, there's about 4 different rejections at the same exact price point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so where the low's currently at right now, price is rejected off this point about 7 times. So this could be a strong support from where it's currently at. Okay, so price is pushing up from right here. This might be a V2 variation. If you guys are not familiar with the V1, V2, V2 requires that the next following candle is a strong candle. So this candle here looks like it may close strong. And if that's the case, this may be the pushback to the upside that, you know, obviously we were looking for. So you guys can see how I drew the lower level right there. You go over here to the 1 hour, nice rejections across the board right here, about 7 times. So this might be where the push to the upside happens. There's no specific entry that's available right here. In order for it to be a V2, this candle needs to be a strong green candle, which it isn't. So there's no strong green candle right there. There's no opportunity for V2 just yet. Here's a clean chart. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I just showed you guys on the other chart again right here. So here's where you guys can analyze to see if this is a good area for bounce, right? So looking at the 1 minute right here, you don't have anything here. Go to the 10 minute, nothing there. You go to the 30 minute, nothing there, because price hasn't been down here in like forever. You go to the 1 hour, now it's a different story. Look where price is rejecting from. It's rejecting directly off the same price points. We have one rejection here, which is currently where price is at. You have a second rejection right here, same exact price point, third rejection, fourth rejection, fifth rejection, sixth rejection, right? So price rejected off this point quite a bit, 6 times, same exact price point. So there may be a bounce around this area, but you know, price may establish a new lower low before it does that. There's no reversal pattern here, so there's nothing for us to really look for entry. There's no V1, no V2, no V anything. But if you do get a V1 or V2, any type of variation pattern, then there may be a reversal that might happen at this point. So Something to keep in mind, we have another lower low right here getting established. And it's still dropping a little lower. So basically what we're doing right now is we're looking for price to basically bounce back up, right? All right, so we have 17 seconds left on this candle. I'll leave lower low right there until we have this one established. Once we have that established, we'll take a look deeper. All right, so we have this set up here again. I'm going to go ahead and make the adjustment. There goes a new lower low. I mean, it might just keep pushing lower. All right, so let's see. Maybe this may be the the bounce up that we've been waiting for. Let's take a look at the fundamentals. Fundamentals are currently down 122 points. So there's a big there's no overall bias because fundamentals here are indicating to take a sell. It's down 127 points. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 62% short. It's not very strong, so it's not too useful here. So this is indicating to take buys. This is indicating to take sells. And the technicals over here are also indicating to take sells. It's in a very strong sell trend. So the trend here is very bearish with regard to all the time frames: 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. So you guys want to be very careful about taking any entries right here because there's a huge discrepancy with regard to where price is likely to go. It just keeps establishing a new lower low. So until it's done establishing lower lows, there's probably not going to be a bounce. So again, right here, if this candle closes or when it does close, I'll make the adjustment and just drop it lower and lower and lower from where it's currently at. We also have news right here at 7:30. Thanks, Daniel. So we might get that spike up on news right here. I think price looks like it's going to flatline a bit. It's just going to consolidate. We have 5 minutes till news. And then once news happens here, that correction to the upside might just happen at that point. Not something I'd play with, but, possibility. Hey, Mohammed, how's it going? Looks like you made it today. What are we missing right now? We're missing Barack. So Barack's probably going to make it in about 4 minutes. That's going to be his cue. 7:30. It's typically when he pops up into the chat. All right, so there's nothing right now, guys. As I mentioned, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll try to give you guys, as in-depth of analysis as I can. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take. Price just keeps establishing new lower lows. I wouldn't necessarily chase it because I do think a bounce is going to happen eventually. Price is too overextended. It can't keep pushing down forever. It's going to have to retrace up at some point. So we have 20 seconds left on this candle. So I wouldn't chase it, and I also wouldn't try to call the bottom. I would just wait for some sort of confirmation. There's no confirmation yet. That's all I would look for the time being. All right, we have a possible low right here. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right, so it looks like it's on the lower spectrum right here. So about the same area where price rejected from. It's around the same area. It's just farther down. So same rejection points. It's just these are where it's a deeper rejection. So it looks like this may be considered a triple bottom on the 1 hour time frame or a quadruple bottom. There's 4 rejections right here off the same price point. Check the 4 hour. Same thing. So we have the same rejection points right here on the 4 hour. This is where price is currently at. We had about 4 rejections right here. Same on the 1 hour. Back to the 1 minute. All right. Let's see if this is the lower fit. Okay, it just got pushed down even lower. It's just inching down lower and lower. I think this is just manipulation until news happens. So news is going to happen right here at 7:30. Let's see. So for the news today, let's see what they are forecasting. All right, so they're forecasting it to be good. That's kind of what I'm expecting right here. They're forecasting, for the most part, the gas stocks to be positive. All right, we got crude oil inventories in about 1 minute. Last month, they were negative 4.6. They're forecasting it to be negative 1.3. So the higher the number, the better. We'll see if this ends up spiking right back up. This might be a V1 variation right there. Yeah, it's a double body. So this is a reversal pattern right here. You can see it's lining up perfectly with the news candle. Yep, there goes a V1. Not a V1 I'd take because there's no bullish bias, but looking for reversal patterns over here. Already blasted right through the TP. So we got news right there. I'm not in this position, guys, but I'm just showing you guys. This is a reversal pattern, double body rejection off this low. We have news candle right here. Let's see if this ends up pushing up higher. They're forecasting it to be bullish. So if that's the case and it does end up bullish, price may spike up from this point. Not taking any entries here around this news candle because we kind of got burnt on the on this like about 3 weeks ago when this happened. I think in March or February. All right, news candle is coming up in about 5 seconds. Not in the position. I just marked it up for you guys there. There you go. Big bullish push right there. Not in the position. Yeah, this is a possible setup for a buy entry if it ends up closing. So if the candle ends up closing and it provides a buy signal, then it may be a possible entry for a buy there, applying the high level momentum scalp. Still got 20 seconds left on this candle, so it's a lot of time. Possible entry on this news candle here. I'm not going to take it. I just wanted to mark it up for you guys to see. Definitely not trading news. Yes, Satyam said no news trading for me. Yeah, same with me, Satyam. We've learned our lesson past couple weeks because it's really unpredictable. I mean, price can push up higher or it can just spike back down for a correction. Doesn't look like it's going to close, so there's no entry there. There's still an opportunity here. If this candle ends up closing with a buy signal and it pushes past this lower high, then there's still an opportunity there. Yeah. So if this here closes, it's still an opportunity for entry. Not one that I would personally take though, because it's still like, I'm waiting to see how price reacts to the news. Looking at the news event right here. Let me refresh. Okay, news event right here. It was positive. It wasn't very strong, but it was positive. Actually wasn't that good. Actually, no, it was actually a lot better. So it was negative 1.4. They were forecasting it to be negative 1.3, but it's actually negative 5.1. So the higher the negative number, the better, because that just means that they're selling their oil, right? The oil is not just sitting there. It's actually being moved. So the news was actually really good. It was a lot better than expected. Possible entry here if it closes. It did not close, guys, with the buy signal, so there's no entry there. So it's all good. On to the next one. But you guys can see how we established the bottom right here, right? I drew the lower low right there. We had a double body rejection, reversal pattern, and then price pushed up from there. Solid push right there, solid identification of a reversal, but there was no entry there because there was news right here on the next candle. Let's see, question from Mohammed. Mohammed said, when news is good, does DXY go buy or go sell? I mean, depending on what news event you're looking at, Mohammed, but it doesn't typically move that way. So just because it's good news doesn't mean price is going to go up. That's why we don't trade news, because if you trade news, you're basically gambling. Usually what happens is price does the opposite of news. So there's no, I mean, it's supposed to go bullish, but it doesn't necessarily go bullish. So you shouldn't be trading news either way. I know you're still kind of new to things, Mohammed, but you should definitely not trade news, because news is like typically where the market gets manipulated the most. Typically you want to see how price reacts to the news. Like for example, here, I knew the news was going to be positive, but I didn't take any entry here, even though I knew price was going to go up from here. We had a reversal pattern, news was coming, and news was positive. So I was expecting it to push up. but obviously not one that I would take because it's just from experience. Like I've traded news in the past. News is never your friend. It's it's very unpredictable. Like it can be bullish and then price can just go completely down, or it can be bearish and price can go completely up. So it's probably best to just sit out news for the most part, especially if it's something that's more high impact than others. The oil news typically isn't high impact. It's usually either light impact or it's like medium. But for the past couple of months, it's been a little higher because of what's going on in the world, with regard to Saudi Arabia pretty much partnering up with Russia and the other countries. All right, Daniel. Daniel said he's done for the day. Happy hunting. Definitely, Daniel. We'll see you back here tomorrow. It's 7:34 right now, guys. So we still have about 26 minutes till 8. We have quite a bit of time to look for another entry. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. There's just nothing for us to take right now at the moment. Here's a clean chart. It's going to go and make some updates right here. So still looking for entries here. We just don't have anything to take right now. As you guys can see, price is pretty much, if price continues to push up higher, this is the pattern that I probably will see happen here. Push up. Target price point is going to be opening price. I think eventually that will happen. I mean, it might not happen right away, but if price does correct back up, that's going to be target price point. Let's take a look at sentiment. Sentiment's starting to drop, so we might not have that continuation, right? It's at 61%. If it goes anywhere below 60, it's no longer going to be valid. Right now, it's still indicating that price is likely to correct back up, but right now this can easily shift. So in order for you to have a retail sentiment bias, you typically need this to be 60 to 65% or more in one direction. If it doesn't play out like that, then there's no retail sentiment bias. Looking over here at the fundamentals, fundamentals are currently down 109 points, so they're starting to go back to neutral. Typically, for it to be bearish, it needs to be below 100 points and stay below there. For it to be bullish, price needs to be above 100 points and stay up there. Right now, it's currently at 109. If price pushes up any higher, so you can see where price is currently at. If price pushes up any higher to this area right here, then this number here is going to change. It's no longer going to be negative 100. So with that said, this is going to go back to neutral. This is neutral. Looking over here at the technicals, technicals right now are still bearish, but the 1 minute over here is starting to shift. So you can see the 1 minute here is shifting to the upside. If this ends up shifting to the upside, these will follow, right? The 1 minute's always going to be leading, and these over here are going to be following. It's either the higher time frames, like the 4 hours, going to be leading, or the 1 minute, because price has been bearish here. So if price ends up reversing, it's going to lead on the 1 minute. So we'll see. Just nothing for us to take right here. But we'll see where this ends up, going. This is why you guys have to be consistently analyzing the charts. You can't just like take your eyes off the charts and like hope and pray something's going to play out. You got to keep looking at the charts, look at different time frames, identify what's different, identify any hints, any clues that price is going to shift on you, right? So looking at this here, this is neutral. This is neutral. This here is bearish, but it's starting to shift. So if this is starting to shift to the upside, then we may have some sort of push up. So right here, you can see on the 10 minute, we have a double body. That's a reversal pattern, right? You have a double body right there. You have a double body on the 5. You have a double body on the 1. That's where it started from. You have a double body on the 30 minute. If you have these double body patterns that just keep repeating itself, then this just indicates that a reversal is going to happen, right? You have the double body right here. This has 22 minutes left on it. You have the double body here, which closed. The 1 and 5 minute have already closed. You can see the pattern right here. This is the confluence. 1 minute, 5 minute, reversal. 10 minute, reversal pending. This candle has about 2 minutes left on it. The 30 minute here is going to be the game changer. So if the 30 minute candle right here ends up closing, then this is going to be a significant pattern to look at, because if that's the case, then price is definitely going to start reversing to the upside, right? So just keep this in mind, when you guys are looking, that this here is going to be the confluence that you guys want to look at. So we'll see. But yeah, the reversal looks like it's playing out. I think this 10 minute here will be a better confluence for you to confirm, but you can see here that it starts here on the 1 and 5. These are leading. and the 10 and 30 minute are following. So we'll see. There's no entries for us here though, so don't worry. There's nothing for us to take. Looks like price might just consolidate a bit before it ends up closing. 10 minute here has about a minute 26 left on it. About 300 pips too. It's a big drop though for the low. It's about 600 pips down. All right, let's see. Question from Omar. Omar's asking, hey, Sean, was that not just a valid entry on the close of the small bearish candle with the bullish momentum? No, it wasn't. So for one, this right here is an invalid signal. In order for it to be a bullish momentum, you need to have a green candle within it. So there's a buy signal right here, but it's a red candle within it. Also, there's no break and close past the pivots. This candle is already above the pivots. So no entry right there. You would need price to break and close past the pivot. So it technically would be this candle right here. But you would need the buy signal on this specific candle right here for it to be an entry. Because we have the lower low here, price broke and closed past the pivots right here, but there is no buy signal. The buy signal came up over here, but it was invalid because there was no there's no green candle within it. So yeah, no entry right there. I mean, yeah, I would have hit TP if you're applying a specific strategy, but there's technically a strategy here. Actually, there's no entry here. I was looking for a V1, sorry, not a V1, a momentum scalp variation, but price needs to break and close past the pivots in the other direction. So yeah, no entry on that. Right there. All right. Yeah. Omar said perfect. Makes sense. Thank you for that. Yeah, no problem, Omar. You know, practice will make perfect. I know you've only been here and, you know, been applying the strategies for a while. So it's good that you ask questions like that so I can show you why it's not an entry. So if there's any other setups that you guys see and you guys are curious whether it's a valid entry or not, just let me know and I'll explain to you whether it is or whether it isn't. This right here is not going to be a valid entry. We have a candle breaking closing past the pivots with the sell signal. However, there's no higher high right here, right? So in order for us to have the higher high or the entry for that, we have to have this as an HH, not a lower high. Let's see. Satyam said, thanks, Sean, for the overall analysis. Yeah, no problem, Satyam. Just want to make sure that you guys are fully aware, right? Whenever you guys take a trade, you want to make sure that you analyze everything completely. You don't want to be like on the fence with entry here, especially with this type of market that we're currently in. Here's a clean chart, as you guys can see. It's not a smooth market at all. I mean, price is really just going sideways right now. Price is legit just going sideways. There's nothing really going on right here. Price is consolidating. 741 right now. I'm hoping to get another entry, but if we don't, I'm not going to force anything. All right, so back to the fundamentals over here. It's down 112 points. It's not very strong, but it is down. Looking over here at sentiment, sentiment's currently 62% short. So this right here also, it does not look very strong, but it is still 62% short. So you're looking for a buy here with retail sentiment. This over here is indicating a sell. It's down 100 points. Technicals over here, still bearish. So, I mean, technically, there's still a bearish bias here. It's not a super strong bias, but it is bearish because this right here is indicating to take a sell with regard to the technicals. The fundamentals over here are not very strong, though. So this is something that you have to pay attention to. If this over here jumps and it goes above 100 points, like it goes to like -90 or -80, then this is no longer going to be a sell bias. It's going to be neutral. So it's got to be a little patient here with this. Let's see. Omar said, appreciate all the help from everyone. Yeah, definitely. Another question from Omar. He said, it's my third day here, but the high level momentum entries are becoming clear to me. Thank God. Yeah, no, definitely, Omar. It's one of the easiest strategies to apply. So I think it's one of the good ones to start off with. And then later on, you can add on other strategies if you like. Let's see, question from Glenn. Glenn's asking, is the 738 candle a valid V1 entry? Looking over here at 738. No, so I don't see any. So the 738 candle right here, Glenn, there's a high low below, but there's no bottom reject. There's no double body on the bottom. So yeah, there's no entry there. I mean, also there'd be no entry here regardless, because if you're looking for the bottom right here, then you would need a pending buy signal. We currently have a buy signal right here. So there's no entry over here for a V1. There's a double body rejection on top, but there's no high there, right? So I think you might just be looking at any double body. It's not every double body. It's the high low. So if you're looking at the high low over here, if you're looking at the high, you're looking for a double body rejection on the top. If you're looking for a low, then you're looking for a double body on the bottom. So you can see right here, there's a low and there's a double body rejection, right? So if you're looking for a low, you're looking for a double body on the bottom. Vice versa, if you're looking for a high, you're looking for a double body on the top or a double wick. So try not to get those two mixed up. It's not every double body. The double body has to happen on the high-low side. I know, Maddie, right? All right, let's see. Omar said, seems like that 1 hour candle is going to wick back to take liquidity up above and continue back down to fill the insufficiencies down below. Let's take a look. So Omar over here mentioned that he said that the 1 hour over here is likely to wick back to take liquidity up above and continue back down to fill the. Yeah, no, I mean, that could play out. Possibility. But I mean, yeah, like Maddie just mentioned, it's a pretty big move. I don't think that'll happen during the live. It might happen eventually throughout the day, but it's a pretty big move. If you measure the candle here on the 1 hour, Omar, that's a huge candle. So he mentioned that price might wake up. This candle right here is huge, though. It's about a 2,000 pip candle. So I'm not really expecting this to wake up anytime soon. I mean, it might wake up a little bit. So it's currently here, right here. If it does wick to the upside, it'll have about 1,300 pip move, but I still don't think that'll probably happen. Maybe later in the session or maybe by tomorrow, but probably not right now, especially if we have all these reversal patterns playing out. I think one thing to look out for here would be the 30-minute candle. You can see that we have 13 seconds left on, or the 13 minutes left on it. Again, as I mentioned, we have the I'll just draw from here. It's easier to see. So we have that reversal pattern here that just played out, right? 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute. Nice rejection off the 1 and 4. So it's a pretty nice rejection off these candles over here. But yeah, we do have a confluence here on the 1, 5, and 10. 30 minute right here, also pending 13 minutes till it closes. This may be the confluence of the push to the upside. I mean, we'll see. No guarantee that'll happen, but looking over here on the 30-minute time frame, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, because this here will line up with Omar's analysis. So Omar mentioned that he thinks price will wick back to the upside. And if that's the case, and this here closes like this with a double body, and it follows through with what's going on the 1, 5, and 10, then yes, I could see that pushing to the upside. Because if that's the case, then it'll continue pushing up. See that, Maddie? I don't see it on mine. Yeah, I don't see it on my end. Oh, yeah, you probably take a break. All right, guys. So let's go back to the other time frames over here. There's nothing for us to take right now. There's no higher highs, no lower lows. So don't worry, we're not missing out on anything here. So I've been like shifting between the time frames, but you can see over here that there's nothing going on. There's no, in order for us to have a sell entry, we need to have a higher high right here. This is a lower high. So we need price to push up above this area here for us to have a new higher high. So don't worry, guys, we're not missing out on anything. I'm fully aware of what's going on the market on the charts right now. There's just nothing for us to take. 7:48 right now. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. 12 minutes till 8. No entries right now. Here is the clean chart. You can see right here, I drew the range. Price is pretty much doing that same exact thing. There's nothing going on right now. So one thing to look out for here would be the 30-minute time frame. You have about 11 minutes left on here. By 8 o'clock, this here is going to close. And then once it does close, there may be a possibility of push to the upside. So we'll keep an eye out on that right there. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to I'll just mark it up right here so that you guys can see. 72. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on all my charts. So this is how you guys can use the confluence. If you guys ever want to see a confluence on the chart, just you click on this like little magnet tool right there if you have multiple time frames, and then it'll set up on your chart like this. So I pretty much have this set up across all my charts right here. So if you're looking for a V1 variation off the 10, this is the setup. And you can see that the setup over here lines up at the 30. But obviously the 30 will probably give better entry because it'll probably give you a lower entry point. So I mean, we'll see. We're not in any trades right now, though, guys. So just keep that in mind. We're not in any trades. I don't want you guys to think that we're taking anything right now. This is just all speculation. Going back to our charts over here, there's nothing for us to take. As you guys can see, price is just ranging sideways. You can see it better here on the clean chart. Nothing going on. Price is going to the right, and it's just going sideways. Here's a 1 minute. There's literally nothing going on. We have a pending sell signal, but again, we don't have a higher high here. There's no opportunity for us to take. Let's see, iPhone said, I think this is Martha. Martha said, I'm so glad you're giving us a lot of biases and trend analysis today. This is exactly what I was referring to yesterday during the mentoring session. I'm learning a lot. Yeah, no, definitely, Martha. You know, I'll try to do this a little more often because I know lately we kind of just been like kind of bullshit in the background. We're not really doing anything when the market's kind of flat like this. We kind of just talk about random topics just to keep our mind off the chart. But I think this is better for me to just keep breaking down and giving you guys a continuous analysis as to like what's going on in the chart, because not everyone's able to identify these things as quickly and as efficiently as I can. As you guys can see right here, my step-by-step process is very simple. So if we're starting off from scratch here and I'm looking to see where price is going. So first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at fundamentals here. I'm looking over here and I'm making sure if this is below or above 100 points. You can see that the Dow is currently down 124 points. And when it's below 100 points, this is going to indicate that fundamentals are bearish. So with that said, I'm looking with a fundamental bias with regard to the price point right here, or basically where it's currently at for the day. It's down 124 points. If it's below 100, it's bearish. If it's above 100 points, it's bullish. So right here, obviously it's 124 negative. It's going to be bearish. Next up, I'll look at retail sentiment. So looking at retail sentiment over here, in order for me to have a bias, I need sentiment to be either 60 to 65% or more in one direction or the other. So looking at this right here, it's currently 61% short. This indicates that 61% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So if retail is currently selling, I typically want to do the opposite and buy, right? These two are conflicting. So you can see right here that this is indicating to take buys while this is indicating to take sells. There's no confluence there. So if there's no confluence, there's no bias, right? Lastly, I'll look at the technicals over here. And as you can see from the technicals over here, that it's currently bearish, right? The 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, they're all bearish. The reason for that is because price is below the pivots, trend meters red across pretty much every single time frame, and the pivots are all angling down. So this indicates a sell. This indicates a sell. and this indicates a buy, right? There's no overall confluence. What I would call this here is I would call it a bearish to neutral bias, because this is bearish, and this is bullish. So as you guys can see, typically you want to have an overall bias because you only want to take trades when you know for sure where price is going. There's a lot of conflicting analysis here with regard to the technical side, fundamental side, and the retail sentiment. But yeah, it's not really that difficult, guys. I feel like certain people just make things a little more complicated than it really is. With you, Martha, unfortunately, you're still new to trading, so I wouldn't expect you to be able to pick this up and analyze stuff like that super quickly. But you guys can see that I looked at everything here within like under a minute. So I looked at fundamentals, quick sell, looked at retail sentiment, quick buy, looked over here at technicals, obviously it's a sell. So with that said, price can really go in either direction. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whenever you guys trade, you guys just want to make sure that you have some sort of conviction, right? You want to know that, or you want to have an idea where you want to trade. So you don't want to be in between. You want to make sure that you're either looking for buys or you're either looking for sells. Right now, I don't have a direction. So there's nothing for me to take right now. All right, we have a higher high right here, guys. It's 7:54. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. So if we don't get an entry in the next 6 minutes, there's not going to be entries for us here to take. If you guys have any other questions, though, feel free to put them in your in the chat. Let's see. Omar said, "I have a sell limit ready. I'm going to go with the rest. Go on with the rest of my day." Nice. Yeah. So Omar is looking for that retracement to the upside and then looking for a correction back down. Yeah, we'll see where this ends up going. We have this 30-minute candle over here attempting to close, but this is going to be against the trend here. Typically, you don't want to trade against the trend, so this isn't a trade I would take, but I just marked it over for you guys to see. I'm just going to close this here so there's no confusion. I typically don't trade against the trend, guys. So you guys know how I trade. I'm a trend trader, and I trade with based off momentum. So I look at the trend for my confluence. I looked at retail sentiment. I look at fundamentals, and then I make my entries based off momentum. So as you guys can see, there is no momentum right now. Price is pretty much just straight flat. And again, guys, if you want to look at this on different assets, the same analysis that I just showed you works the same way for everything else. So if you want to trade something like NASDAQ, you can do the same exact thing, right? I'm looking at NASDAQ right here. What does it look like? It looks pretty neutral to me. And I already told you guys that without even analyzing anything, right? So you look over here on the 4 hour, it's bearish, 1 hour bearish, 30-minute bearish, 1 minute bullish, 5 minute bullish, 10-minute neutral. So with that said, this is pretty much sideways to me. Bearish, 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 bullish, bullish, neutral. Super simple. My analysis works for pretty much whatever you want to trade. All right, so there's nothing for us to take here, guys. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Dejan said no trades for me today. See you all on Thursday. Definitely, Dejan. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, that's correct, Glenn. So Glenn said, okay, it needs to be on the candle with a high low. Yes, that is correct. So you need to look for the double body on the candle. But there's no bias right now, so you wouldn't really be looking for anything. The main thing you'd be looking for is probably a higher high with a double body or double wick, but it's not looking like it. Price is just going sideways right here. So you guys can see how the market's moving right here. This is a market that you definitely don't want to trade in. So you 1000% don't want to take a trade in a market like this because it's literally just going sideways. So guys, just heads up, if you guys don't need a trade today, I wouldn't recommend forcing anything because you can see price is not really going anywhere. There is a news event coming up at 8:30. Still a whiles away. All right, so we have a pending sell signal right here, guys, but this is not going to be an entry. The reason for this not being an entry is because we have a higher high right here, but this red candle right here already broke and closed past the pivots. So this candle right here broke and closed past the pivots, so there's not going to be an entry for us to take at this point. This pretty much invalidated the setup already. Let's see. Omar said, weird, we have price trending on Wednesday, usually consolidates. Thanks, Sean. Have a great day. Yeah, definitely. Omar, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, no, the price isn't really doing much today. It's kind of just going sideways. I was expecting some sort of direction today because it is Wednesday, like you mentioned, but you can see here that it's been flat for like the past, let's see. Price has been flat for the past 30 minutes or so. So over 30 minutes, actually, price has just been going sideways. That is not a good thing. So, all right, guys, I think this is going to be it for the session. It's 7:58 right now. We have about 2 minutes till 8. I'm not expecting any other entries to happen anytime soon. We have that double body closing out right here on the 30 minutes. So if you guys want to pretty much speculate off that right there for price to swing to the upside, then I mean, there's a possibility of it swinging up. V1 variation right here on the 30-minute time frame. I mean, we'll see. The price isn't really moving though, so it's not one I would personally mess with. Let me see how far is that from there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a messy move. So there goes the 30-minute right there. All right. So there goes the 30-minute time frame right there as price kind of just continues to go sideways. Not exactly the type of market you want to be stuck in, but yeah, that is the 30-minute setup right there. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can message me on Telegram at Kodi Kai Trades, or you guys can email me, Sean at KodiKaiTrades.com. Again, if you guys are new here and you guys want to learn these strategies that we pretty much covered during the live session, just go on our website, KodiKaiTrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. It'll give you access to the course. Again, this is what the course looks like. If you guys want to learn the high level momentum scalp, just go down to main strategies. It's going to be the first one right here on module 4. And if you want to learn any of the other scalp strategies, scroll down to scalp strategies. We have the high level momentum or high low scalp, pivot scalp, triple confluence, variation V1. This is the one that I just marked up with, all those other time frames. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session.